UFC was back on Fox on Saturday. Great fights. One of the highlights as far as non-fight action is concerned. This side-by-side interview, if you will, between Dominick Cruz and Cody Garbrandt. They are finally going to fight on December 30th, co-main event UFC 207. We are very happy to be joined by Mr. Cody Garbrandt, Mr. No Love himself, on the phone right now. Cody, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Ariel? Thanks for having me as always.
Yes, it is a pleasure as always. Busy day for you, right? You're doing all kinds of media in Los Angeles?
Yeah, we're just got done with some LA Times or LA's newspaper. Calling in Jim Norton, Matt Serra. I was just got off the phone with them and talking to the man now, the man of the hour.
Yes. Well, I'm happy that you still have time for us little people here in New York.
Oh, come on.
Okay, so we have a lot to discuss. Let's get into it. Looking back on that exchange on Saturday, because everyone's talking about it, were you happy with the way it played out? Did you go back and watch and say, oh man, I shouldn't have said this. I wish I didn't do that. What did you think about it overall?
No, you know what? That's me. I'm not. That's me. Raw as it comes. I'm going to say what I want to say in there. He wants to act fake, and just because of the camera, that's who he is. If the camera's raw off him, he's a different person. 100%. He's the one that puts on the front, acts tough in front of the camera, and he's good. I mean, he's great at commentary. He's a good actor. And it's I wouldn't change anything. I would rather have done a side by side, but that's what I was told that we were doing was a side by side, sit down side by side. But Dominic got scared, so we had to do a split screen. I'm talking shit into a camera, looking into a camera lens. So other than that, it's a little different. I would like to have been side by side, but other than that, it's cool, man. He's good with his words, and I feel like he's a desperate man, and he's just trying to get under my skin and get me riled up. But it's not working.
So I'm happy to go in there. I'm happy that you said that, because I said at the top of the show that I thought it was a mistake not to put you side by side. I didn't think you guys were going to brawl. And so what you're saying is that's what you were told, and he nixed it?
Yeah, I mean, if I got a call earlier in the week that was a side by side interview.
Wow.
With Dom, and I got to the fight, and we're split screen. On the screen, I see John and Dominic. I have that goofy ass headset on, and I'm talking into the camera, and it was a little hard to hear, but it was good. It's whatever. It's hyping up the fight. I mean, what I say is real. I'm going to go in there and do that. He believes that he's going to knock me out. I think it's comical. I'm kind of still just laughing about it. That he thinks that he's going to put me in the hospital, and it motivates me. It makes it feel authentic. For me, it makes it feel like a real fight. And for me, I know that he's just playing it up in the media and trying to sell the fight, because he knows damn well he's not going to knock me out.
Has this reached a different level for you? Like, he was on our show a couple weeks ago, and we talked about like him going on your girlfriend's Instagram and talking, and she was responding, and then you come. Like, has this gone to the personal level? Is it more than just a fight now?
It's a personal level. It goes across the personal level with me, with any of my fighters, any of my adversaries that I fight. When they sign the dotted line, when they sign the contract, they think that they can beat me. That's already strike one. That they're going to try to steal a dream from me. So I'm signing. He's a champion, whatever, but he's still my adversary. He's still the guy that's going to go in there and try to hurt me, and steal a dream from me. So right there, I already have he's public enemy number one to me, and I'm looking to seek and destroy him. So everything else is added to it. Everything's added fire, added fuel, and I'm going on to my girlfriend's Instagram and doing that. It's a caddy to me. It's desperation. He's trying to use every angle he can to get me, unfocused, rallied up, emotional, which is good. I like to be emotional. I feel off that. I love it. I love the banner back and forth. But going on my girl's site and doing that is just, I don't know. I just lost a lot of respect for him. You can say whatever you want about me, my family, and my upbringing, me being fatherless and coming from a broken family and like that. But you go in and do that, that's just childish. It just shows that he's very immature. And, he's just desperate. He's a desperate man in there. So
you think he crossed the line with that?
Cross the line, I mean, whatever you mean. My girl can hold her own.
Yeah.
So it's what it is. He posts up a video of me getting knocked out and thinking it's funny. It's fine. Like I said, I learned a lot from that fight. And he just didn't like the backlash that he got from him, my fans. He blocks every one of my fans that, says something that he doesn't like. He's very emotional. I don't block anybody. I don't care. If they're going to talk, that about me, that's fine. I'll like their comment. I'll talk back to him. And, hey, you better hope Dominic does this to me if this is what you're going to say on my page. But, I think it was just real catty of him to go on there and do that. I mean, it's crossing the line, whatever. But I kind of like, I'm not really focused on it. It's like I said, my girl can hold her own. And I think he needs to be focused on more than going on my girlfriend's page and talking crap and doing that. He needs to focus on me and not on her. But that's fine. Let him do what he wants. Let him say what he wants. At the end of the day, we're fighting December 30th, and all the trash talking is going to be thrown out the window, and the fists are going to be flying.
On Saturday, and even when he was on the show a couple of weeks ago, he talks a lot about the knockout, like you getting knocked out, saying you're punch drunk, and that how many concussions have you had? Why do you think he keeps focusing on this? Do you think he's trying to find what bothers you the most and just attack that? Is that what he's doing?
Of course, someone getting knocked out, and they're just trying to play on that, like, I can knock him out. He's been knocked out. I never lost a fight since then, and you know what? I've done a lot of things differently since that fight. Obviously I went to UPMC with Dr. Collins and did vestibular therapy. I had crystals out of my ear, so I got everything back into place. I did, UPMC with Dr. Collins is Sidney Crosby's doctor. So it felt amazing, man. Ever since I did that 3 years ago, I never felt better. So he's just trying to, like I said, he's desperate. He's trying to get any angle he can and get under anyone's skin. And anyone he fights, he always does that. So I already knew going into this, he's gonna, that was gonna be brought up. Almeida brought that up. The same thing they did that fight week, and it just, hey man, they're gonna find out the hard way. You're hoping that you're going to go in there and finish me and do that. It's only adding fuel to the fire, keep me more motivated, more focused, more hungry, more just ready to get my hands on them and do what I know how to do in there, this fight.
Like I said, he was on the show a couple weeks ago. I want to just play you a quick clip about what he said about you and then get your response. Is that cool?
All right, go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Anything you say, he flies off the handle. I mean, anything. You could literally say, your hairline's a little crooked, and this guy is going to go crazy and say, don't ever talk about my hairline. I'm going to bash your face in. Like, man, relax, guy. Like, he's just, everything you say, he's like a ticking time bomb. And that's because he wants to be that. He wants to portray this image that really, he has no love. And he's tough, he's a savage, he's this, he's that, but those are the most insecure people in the world, are the ones that have to call themselves something that they're not.
What's your response to that?
I actually do got a lot of love, man. I'm no love in the cage. I don't show my adversaries, love, but I got a lot of love for a lot of things in my life, and I don't have insecurities. He's the one that has insecurities. He's the one to talk about, if you go back on his interviews, he's the one that talks about concussion. That's his fear. He got knocked out in practice. Going back on the interview, he brought up concussions. And he's the one that brought up, daddy issues about me. He's the one, if you go back on an interview, he's the one that said that, my mom just kept it real, Christmas was weak because my dad wasn't around. That's his insecurities. He's trying to put them on me, which, I mean, it's fine. Like, I'm a better man than him. I'm not going to go and stoop that low to his level. That's childish, talking about his upbringing and, not having a father in his life, or him getting knocked out in practice. Okay, it's cool, man. There's a lot of people in the UFC and fighters that get stopped and knocked out in practice. I mean that they have, have a weak chin. It happens. You're fighting you're in these gyms that have the best fighters in the world, testing each other every day. It's going to happen. Mine's going to be in a fight. He has happened to be where there's no cameras, video, but he still speaks about that. So he is in the back of his mind getting knocked out. He's been dropped before. He's been, Faber put him on his ass a couple of times. TJ had him wobbled, and they don't possess the power that I possess. So he knows that that's his fear. He's fear. He keeps up bringing knockout, concussion. Because really that's what he fears that I'm going to do to him. He fears that I'm going to knock him out, and he's damn right. That's what I'm going to do.
Faber, Benavidez, Dillashaw, he's had this history with Team Alpha Male, and one could say that you're, obviously you're the next guy, but there's no one really in his weight class that's coming up after you. Do you feel the pressure to finally be the guy to unseat him, to be the guy from the team to finally dethrone Dominick Cruz?
No pressure. I'm no pressure. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the process to become a world champion. And ever since I set out in MMA. Ever since I said I want to be a fighter, I want to be not only be a fighter. The first time I said it, I said I want to be a UFC champion. I was 13, and I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. It's to fight him. I've pictured myself knocking him out since I was a teenager, and we're 11 days away from doing that. No extra pressure. Like I said, it's another fight for me. I'm not letting it get to my head or let it lose focus. That it's a world title fight. I'm fighting one of the best bantamweight fighters in the world. I'll give him his respect. He's very consistent on being that. He's great. He's a great fighter. He's been the champion, but it's another fight for me. I'm not surprised that I'm here. I believe in myself. That's the power of self-belief, and envisioning myself being here.
Well, what's it like for you 13 days before that fight to be sitting in Sacramento in that new arena and watching your mentor, Urijah Faber, retire, and the emotion that went involved? Like, as you're preparing, and it's rare to be at a fight, that close to a massively big fight for you in your career, but to watch someone like Faber, how much he means to you, how did you channel what you were watching and what happened to him and going out on top into, getting ready for your fight?
It was bittersweet. Faber's a guy that I looked up to a lot in the sport, getting into it, and guys paved the way for so many fighters like myself, that are here. We wouldn't be here without him. So watching him in the back warm up and make that final walk into the octagon and going out there and performing and seeing the old Urijah that we know that goes out there and just puts on a show. I mean, it was an exciting fight. Brad Pickett's no walk in the park. He's tough as they come. And it was a great fight. Great atmosphere. Sacramento came out and, sent Faber on his, farewell fight. So it was great. The energy, it recharged me, it focused me. It was great to be there and just hear the crowd, just, see everyone supporting our team and Urijah. So it was great. Recharged, refocused on, now I'm down here talking to the media, about my fight, and not only this fight, about my first, world title fight. It's amazing. It's motivating. It's motivating these times that I'm getting experience. I'm very motivated and focused.
When you debuted in 2012, he was champion. He was kind of in that weird period of, I actually think it was like around the time that he was filming the show with Urijah. Was it right from the beginning that you were like, I'm getting into this sport and this is the guy? Because it's rare for someone to debut in the sport and the champion is the guy that he fights in his first title fight, and that's your situation. Were you thinking about Dominick all the way back then?
All the way. I mean, when I was an amateur, when I was boxing, before I even did MMA, I was, Urijah and Dominick were at the top, the champions in 2007, or when it was, and maybe I have the dates wrong, but, I pictured myself fighting Dominick. I pictured myself knocking Dominick out for the world title. It was obviously, I was picturing myself in the WC because I never felt like I was big enough to be a lightweight or a welterweight, but, the UFC bought the WC, and, here I am, getting ready to fight Dominick Cruz, who I've envisioned knocking out since I was a teenager. And like I said, I believe in fate, and you can't fight fate, and it's my destiny to be a world champion.
Is Faber going to be in your corner on December 30th?
No, actually not. I have Justin Buckles, Danny Castillo, Chris Holdsworth, my uncle Robert Meese. But Faber's going to be there with me all fight week, help me out, get me ready, prepared. And he's the guy that I like having around. His positivity and just his demeanor on everyday life, enjoying it, be happy. He's a good person to be around.
Sure.
Spirit. So I'm glad that he's going to be out there for fight week and just, keep me motivated and focused.
And of course, no one knows him better than Dominick. But I'm wondering, when you're sparring, when you're preparing for the fight, do you have someone who's emulating Dominick? Because his style is a little bit different, as you know.
I got a lot of good looks this camp. Ricky Tejera, he's 8-0 pro. He's got a good, awkward style. Andre Feely really simulated Dominick well. Anthony Villa had some of our other fighters, Andrew, Cyclone. A lot of these name fighters that you'll be hearing about more and more really helped me out this camp with emulating Dominick's goofy, unorthodox style. So very thankful for them and my team and coaches to get me ready for this, world title fight against Dominick. Feel extremely confident and excited to get in there.
And what about my man, Maddox Maple? Is he going to be there on December 30th?
Maddox Maple, he's going to be there, him and his family, and a lot of my people from my hometown are making the voyage out from Ohio.
Wow.
Maddox is excited. We were told that he gets to walk down. We're just kind of waiting for 100% confirmation that he gets me walking to the cage.
Oh, wow.
I find out the fight week. Yeah, it's amazing. That was one of his goals was to walk me down, and they agreed that in July, and then we kind of put that to rest. Like, all right, next time, we'll ask if you can walk me down for a world title shot, when I fight for the world title. And, here I am, and Max will be out there, and, we're just waiting for 100% confirmation that he's able to, walk me down there. And hope so. I'm really hoping, he's very excited for that. I know that's what he wants to do and something that he held on to when he was fighting for his life. So hopefully the UFC and T-Mobile grant that wish for him.
And not to get ahead of ourselves, but I'm just curious, you beat Dominick and TJ Dillashaw beats Lineker. I would imagine that could be the next fight. Do you have any problem fighting him?
No, I don't have any problem fighting Lineker or TJ. They would actually be easier fights for me than Dominick, because Dominick runs and TJ and Lineker will, bring a fight. They want to fight. So, whoever wins, let the best man win out of that, and I'll be awaiting my next opponent, my first title defense against either or.
So are you worried about him, quote unquote, running? Do you think it's going to be sort of a frustrating fight where you're going to have to chase him?
No, I mean, I have very good movement. I have good measuring with good accuracy. Good pressure, very good pressure. He's not the same fighter he was. He's slowing down. He's always got 2 busted knees. His hands are all busted up. He's an old man there. So, I think he's going to have a good 3 minutes of that movement, and I'll figure him out. His pattern, like I said, my training partners and coaches have gotten me prepared for his movements and what he uses. He uses a lot of the same movements he's had in the past, 5 to 6 years. So he hasn't changed. He hasn't evolved as a fighter. And, I'm looking forward to dissecting him and dethroning him.
2 last quick things. Do you think that Dominick Cruz believes that he's in your head? I get the impression by the way he speaks about you and to you that he thinks he's already figured you out. Do you think that he thinks that?
No, I see a desperate man in all his interviews and the way he speaks. He's desperate. He's desperate to know what kind of fighter I am, and the 4th and 5th round, or in this position, or see his wrestling. No one's seen any of that. No one's seen untapped potential that I haven't even got to showcase in there. And like I said on our Fox little thing Saturday, he's man enough to take me into those 4th and 5th rounds or put me in those bad positions. Go ahead. Then see, I'm a survivor. I'm here for a reason. If he's man enough to put me in those positions, okay, good for him. I'm going to let my skills show, and I'm thankful for that. But I always have it, in front of my mind that I can end the fight in one shot. He can't. He's got to try to evade me for 5 rounds, be elusive for 5 rounds. And when you have someone that's fast and powerful and has constant pressure, that's hard to do. It's going to be hard to do. So I want to see how desperate he is. He wants to say he's going to sit there and knock me out, but then I just heard an interview. He's going to keep trying to take me down and punch me to work up. Look, I've wrestled since I was a kid. I'm on the best team for grappling in the world. So he's in a rude awakening if he thinks it's going to be that easy to just take me down and do this. I come from Ohio, and it's one of the best states in the United States of wrestling. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to go in there and let my skills, show against one of the best. I think this is going to be my coming out party for, every fight is better and better for me. And it's a bigger stage. And that's where I shine the best, is when the spotlight's on me the most. I have so much to gain from this fight. I have nothing to lose.
And lastly, you've been good with your predictions. So what's the official one?
I really want to finish Dominick. I feel like I'm going to finish him. I know in my heart that I'm going to finish him. I've seen it so many times. Like I said, since a teenager, me finishing Dominick. It's about being, patient in there. Patient. He moves around. And I know my shots will come. I know I'll land a good one and put him to sleep. And, it depends on, what kind of fight he brings to me. If he comes out, trying to brawl, like he says he's going to try to put me, knock me out, then it's going to be an early night for me. But he comes out like he does, cautious, fades. It's, I'm going to say second round, first or second round. The only reason I want to take him to the second round, I want to make him have a conscious decision to get up off the stool and answer the second round after beating him up so bad in the first round.
Damn. Can't wait for it. Great stuff, Cody. All the best. Good luck out there in Los Angeles with the media, and very much looking forward to seeing you in Las Vegas. Thanks, my man.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Good day.
100%. There he is. Cody No Love Garbrandt. Big fight for him. He fights for the UFC bantamweight title December 30th. That's a Friday night, by the way, in Las Vegas. I wonder if, obviously, they're doing the Friday night show because December 31st is New Year's Eve on a Saturday night, which is a strange spot for them. Last time this happened was with UFC 141, Brock Lesnar, Alistair Overeem. I wonder if the risk of doing it on Friday is smarter than just doing an earlier pay-per-view on Saturday to not conflict with people's New Year's plans. I wonder how much of a hit they take when they do the Friday night pay-per-view. It's a fantastic one, obviously, not just with the 2 title fights for Doom Kane and Lineker Dillashaw on that main card. Still waiting for Jessica Andrade's opponent, but yeah, that is definitely one worth buying on December 30th.